Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you all had an amazing week and stayed safe. My name is Jordan Davidson, and this is another edition of Behind the Bench. This week, the Mississauga Steelheads hosted their annual school day game against the Guelph Storm on Wednesday. Then on Friday, in the middle of a huge snowstorm, they welcomed in the North Bay Battalion before going to Barrie to complete their week on Saturday. I was at all three games. Let's get the recap started. To get the ball rolling, here is my pregame from Wednesday morning against the Guelph Storm. Here we go. What's up, boys? Oh, yeah. Not supposed to be awake yet. But, yeah, as the boys said, you probably don't notice much of a difference, but it is actually 9:30 in the morning right now as I film this. The game is at 11. It's a school day game. So I'm a little later relatively than I usually am, so the outdoors might be a little rushed, but we're here. Oh, you guys are a little late, aren't you? Well, just caught him arriving. The Guelph Storm bus is here. We have ourselves a game. So the first big difference, obviously, is the time. The second big difference is I'm not going to be in my regular seat today. Yeah, they give all these seats to all the school children who are coming today, all the field trips and all that. So the season ticket holders are going to be up in the suites today. So today only, you can find me in the suite, and only the suite. School buses are starting to arrive. Another one over there. Yep, this place is about to be really full and really loud soon. Oh. Hey. Don't run over the kiddies. Hey. Hey. Oh yeah. Okay, this is what the suite looks like. Got some salt and pepper and some cups. I don't know what they're for exactly, but little TV up here too. It's on a kid's channel for some reason, but I guess I can change that. There's a remote there. And the sweet seats are right out here. I already put my jacket down. I know, continuity and all, but yeah, this is my view for the day. There's our boys, and there's their boys. Isaac Enright. It was like second or third there. Number 24. Yeah, don't get too used to seeing this place full, but on school day it gets pretty full. Starting goaltenders were Alessio Bellieri for the Steelheads and Braden Gillespie for the Guelph Storm. The puck dropped in front of over 5,000 students, teachers, and the few of us who were in the suites, and the school day game got underway. Now, Braden Gillespie is a young rookie goalie for the Guelph Storm, has a GAA around 3.5 and a save percentage around the 880s, like you would expect from a rookie goalie, but in spite of that, has a pretty good record. Steelheads try peppering him, as the Steelheads do. 12-7 the shots were in the first period, but Guelph would get the only goal of the first period from Michael Bookinger, who later that day would announce his entry-level deal with the St. Louis Blues. Bookinger, with a point shot, would score the first goal, give the assist to Max Nemesnikov and Braden Bowman, and the score would be 1-0 Guelph Storm after one. Second period would be another period where the Steelheads dominate the shots. This time the shots were 13-6 for the Steelheads in the period. Not a whole lot going on. There was a bit of a skirmish near the end of the period. Cam Allen and Porter Martone to get roughing penalties, which would start at the beginning of the third period. There would be no scoring in the second. Early in the third period, the 1:06 mark, while it is still 4-on-4, the Steelheads are finally able to get the crowd of over 5,000 on their feet. Charlie Callahan taking the initial shot, and Xander Vecchia cleaning up a rebound to tie the score at 1. So Xander Vecchia with the goal give the assist to Charlie Callahan and Parker Von Richter, and early in the third, we've got ourselves a 1-1 game. The third period would be another period where the Steelheads dominated the shots. 16-6 were the shots in favor of the Steelheads in the third period, so pretty much every single period the Steelheads have done that. Unfortunately, at the 13:29 mark, Charlie Callahan would be the victim of a very dangerous hit from the Guelph Storm's Ryan McGuire. They would review it for a potential major, but they gave him a boarding minor, which the Steelheads were not able to capitalize on, and unfortunately, Charlie would not be back for the rest of the week, and from the sounds of it, probably not next week either. So a very costly loss for the Mississauga Steelheads. There would be no more scoring in the third, so it would be 1-1 after 3, and we'd head to overtime. So the final shot total in the game would be 41-20 in favor of the Steelheads, but unfortunately it would be that 20th Guelph Storm shot that would sink them. After a steal at the other end, it would be Michael Bushinger taking a pass from Matthew Poitras in front of the net and burying the overtime winner. It would be the only shot in the overtime period, and it was all the Guelph Storm would need to take this game 2-1. Steelheads would get the single point, but would fall in overtime. Bushinger starts it and Bushinger finishes it. Here are the 3 stars. I did not get post-game because I did have to return to work, so it is 3 stars only. But here you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here are your 3 stars brought to you by Pro Hockey Life. Race your game. Your third star from your Steelheads, number 6, Parker Richter.
Okay. The Von Richter bottle. Little flip over there.
Your second star, also hailing from your Steelheads, number 74,
Yep. Yep.
and finally, your first star from visiting Guelph Storm, number 31, Brandon Gillespie.
Yeah, it had to be. All right, had to sneak away because I do have to actually finish my work day. Hopefully I can get away ahead of these buses, but I do have the advantage of not having to load 50 people. So I do hope Charlie is okay and he'll be good for Friday, but we will see. Anyway, until then. There you go. A little weird that Bushinger didn't get a star on a day he scored 2 goals, but I think since the Steelheads started giving out the bottles that they kind of have a policy that at least 2 Steelheads are named stars that day. So I think that's what's going on there. But yeah, on to Friday and the game against the North Bay Battalion. Here's my pregame from a very snowy Friday. Howdy y'all, it's Friday night now. The Steelheads are getting ready to play the North Bay Battalion, but there is a huge snowstorm expected to come, like around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock today, and by the time the game's over, we might be a little buried. So I did make the call of actually getting a hotel for today's game. This is the first time I've actually got one for a home game. As you can see, there's the Mississauga Hotel, but there's like a Toronto skyline above me. But yeah, not exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want to spend the money for it, but I thought it was the safe, smart thing to do if I still wanted to go to the game. So that's where I am tonight, and yeah, we'll take you to the arena very, very soon. Well, finally made it here. Not on the parking lot side, because obviously I'm not parking. I just walked from the hotel. But yeah, here, gonna watch a game. Probably gonna freeze my butt off afterwards, but yeah, let's get this started. Yeah, at least they brought a white bus today. That way that by the time they leave, they won't notice much of a difference. But yeah, looks like the battalion are here. We have a game, and we're about to have a storm. So hope we can head inside soon. See you, boys. Yep. Just try not to get run over. What was that, a growl? I don't think you're getting a puck, Ken. you got a little more facial hair than these guys. Yeah. He's not as tall though, so. What? He's not as tall though, so they're looking at you. Oh, nice. Who wants the Kai Schwinn puck? Alessio Bellieri would again be in net for the Steelheads. For the North Bay Battalion, it would be Dom DeVicentis. The puck dropped inside as the snow dropped outside, and we would get underway. Steelheads led the shots again in the first period of this game, 17-11, so they were making the goalie work like they know how to do. Unfortunately, Dom DeVicentis would stop every one of those 17 shots. He'd have to make some tough saves to do it, but those are the breaks. The North Bay Battalion would get on the board first on the power play with Porter Martone in the box for a check to the head. Ty Nelson would take a one-time pass from Matvey Petrov and bury that to open the scoring. So Ty Nelson with the goal, Matvey Petrov and Kyle Jackson with the assists. That is 8:59 into the first period, and it's 1-0 Battalion. At the 11:35 mark, the Battalion would make it 2-0. This time it was Josh Bloom taking a shot, and I don't know if Bellieri was screened or if it took a funny bounce or something, but because it didn't look like he saw that puck very well. Went in, Josh Bloom scored the goal, gave the assist to Pasquale Zito and Braden Hislop. It'll be 2-0 Battalion, and that will be your score after 1. Well, I don't know how much you can see, but it looks like it finally got started while we were watching that first period there. You can see some raindrops on the windows, so it's a little mix of both rain and snow, so yeah, I can see how this would be tough to drive in, so probably made the good choice for the hotel. Let's get some goals in the second period. Second period was a much more even period. Steelhead still led the shots 13-12. Not a whole lot happened that I can remember, at least. There was one North Bay penalty that didn't amount to anything. That was a slash on Nikita Tarasevich. It was pretty much back and forth the whole way. There was no scoring in the second. It would remain 2-0 Battalion after 2. Third period, the Steelheads would dominate the shots again. 16-7 was the total for a game total of 46-30. But unfortunately, Dom DeVicentis was a brick wall. He would stop all 46 of those shots. There were a few amazing saves he had to make. You know, if he didn't make those, maybe the game is a different story. But yeah, the Battalion would add an empty netter from Josh Bloom. And 3-0 Battalion would be your final in this one. To borrow a term from Tyler Raines of the Pro Shot Podcast, check out his link in the description. We just got goalied. Here are the 3 stars and the post-game from Friday.
All right, here are the 3 stars being presented by Pro Hockey Life. Raise your game. The 3rd star from the Steelheads, number 17, Angus Montanel.
Yeah. All right, Angus.
The 2nd star from the Battalion, number 31, Dom DeVicentis.
Didn't look like this when we came in. Yeah, that is smacking me in the face right now. So let's get downstairs quick, see the boys off, and get back to the hotel. Well, good night, buddy. Have fun going out sockless in that.
He never wears socks.
Some of the players, they use Vinny.
Oh, poor guy.
People keep holding the door when the door is closed.
Yeah.
Make your mind.
Yeah, put some clothes on before you go out there.
Yeah, that's why I'm starting the car.
Yeah.
Nice weather outside.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love this?
Are you safe at home, man? Careful. That stuff's gonna smack you in the face. Just see, I told ya. She's hiding. Yeah. That's not gonna work. Oh, whoa! Uh-oh. Sneaky devil here. Yeah.
Aiden's no longer here.
Yeah.
You know one of his favorite players now. We always ask, is that Aiden? And he goes, yeah, well, yes, why not?
Yeah. Get home safe. Yeah. Oh. Angus. Get home safe, big guy. Yeah. See you, buddy. Hey, how are ya? Hey. Good, good. Yeah.
Weather, man. Drive
Yeah.
safe, eh? Yeah, you too, guys. Good night, boys.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Night.
Hey, safe drive, man.
Yeah.
I'll bring him for the card. Yeah, I will.
Oh, yeah, thank you for doing
Yeah.
that, by the way.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Night.
Safe drives.
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, back at the Super 8. I want to say a special thank you to the arena employee who picked me up and brought me the rest of the way when he saw me walking. That was very nice of you. Just going to stay here for the night, check out in the morning, drive home when it's safe, and then make my way to Barrie tomorrow night. So until then, we'll see ya. So after being shut out for the third time this season, the Steelheads would go to Barrie on Saturday night to try and salvage their week. Here is my pregame from Barrie. Last night, lots of snow. Tonight, well, still lots of snow, but also lots of sun. She was a bright drive, but yep, here we are again, Sadlin Arena, home of the Barrie Colts. So yeah, checked out of the hotel last night at 11, as one does, and drove home. Thought I'd have some time to chill, but mysteriously, when I got out of the car, I noticed my phone was off and would not turn on, and charging would not help. Instead of resting, unfortunately, I had to go to Best Buy and secure a new phone. With technology the way it is, not having a phone also means I don't have my ticket to the game. So that was a must, unfortunately. But I do have my phone, and I'm here. Old familiar spot for the bus. I know my outdoor was kind of rushed because of, what I had to do with the phone. But you guys have seen a lot of Barrie anyway, so hope you're okay with that. The view for today, as always, Barrie's not the easiest place to get up real close. That's what happens when you advertise. But still a good view. You can see the bench pretty good. I'm still technically behind the bench, so yeah. Despite the fact that Charlie is out with the injury, James Hardy is still wearing the A on the road. So I guess they're showing some respect to their road captain. Nobody wearing the C today. Look at that! Good guy alert right there. Angus McDonnell gives away the puck. Ryerson Leaders got the assignment in net for the Steelheads in this one. For the Barrie Colts, it was Ben West. The puck dropped, and we got ourselves underway. The first period of the Barrie game would be the first period all week that the Steelheads would not lead the shots, although it was just 12-11, so it was not that much of a difference. Barrie would open the scoring, though, on a bullet shot from Ethan Cardwell that would find just a tiny bit of space between Ryerson Leaders' shoulder and the crossbar. So it was a beautiful shot, I'm not going to lie. So Ethan Cardwell with the goal, Jacob Frasca and Braden Hashe with the assists, and Barrie would be up 1-0. 10:26 mark of the first period, and Barrie would make it 2-0. Ryerson Leaders would face a very difficult scramble in front of the net. Would make a great initial save, actually. But unfortunately, Brant Clark was right there to tip in the loose rebound and make it 2-0 for the Barrie Colts. Brant Clark with the goal gave the assist to Ethan Cardwell and Evan Veerling. 2-0 is your score. Some rough stuff at the 13:21 mark. Ethan Cardwell would go after Bryce Cook, and they would have a nice little scrap, duking it out for a while. Here's where I was a little bit confused. I thought Ethan Cardwell would get the instigator, and he did get an extra minor, so they go to the box for 5, and they did give Ethan Cardwell the extra 2, but apparently it was just an additional roughing penalty and not, an instigating penalty, and there'd be no misconduct as well. So was a little confused there. I did think Ethan Cardwell started that fight, but it'd just be a power play. Nothing would come of it. It would still be 2-0 at that point. Steelheads were down again, but they would get on the board by the end of the first period. Xander Vecchia gets a steal in the defensive zone and spots Angus McDonnell well ahead of him. Angus McDonnell would take the pass and go on a nice little breakaway, which he would finish with a backhand. Angus McDonnell with the goal, Xander Vecchia with the lone assist. It'd be 2-1 Barrie Colts, and that is your score after 1. Second period was another pretty even period. Again, the shots were 12-11 for the Barrie Colts, just like it was in the first period. But the Steelheads would tie it late in the period at the 17:06 mark. Bryce Cook taking the shot. I didn't realize it was a goal at first, and I don't think Ben West did either. It was one of those that he stopped most of, and then it just kind of dribbled through. But Bryce Cook did score the tying goal, give the assist to Porter Martone and Luke Misa. And late in the second period, we have a 2-2 game. Another scrum late in the period, by the way, would result in roughing minors for Angus McDonnell and Brant Clark. It would be 2-2 after 2. Is this a pizza eating contest? Oh. As much as I love pizza, I think I'm done with eating challenges for a while.
Alright, so yes, this is a pizza eating competition. Of course, sponsored by our local sponsors.
How was there a little kid in this? Like the pizza the size of him.
Here in front of each and every one of you. Whoever eats the most amount of pizza chooses will win free pizza for a year. So without further ado, let's go! Yeah!
You know, if I ate that much pizza, I don't know if I'd want pizza for a year.
You guys do know this is a race though, right? I'm slow and over, but nobody's really grabbing the pizza here. Maybe Charlie should have been waiting. He would have been done for sure by now.
That big mouth on Charlie. Saga would beat Charlie.
3, 2, 1, pizza down. All right, the judges are going to be looking here. Who do we have as a winner? We have a winner over here.
Of course it's that guy.
You are waiting pizza for a year, my man.
I don't think the little kid had a chance. Third period now, and this is the controversial one. Jacob Frasca with another short-range shot on Ryerson Leanders. It seems to be the short-range shots that kind of get him, by the way. But Jacob Frasca scores the go-ahead goal with the assist to Evan Bierling and Brant Clark. That makes it 3-2 Barrie. Now, the Steelheads believed, and everyone who watched the game seems to believe, you know, except for, you know, the two guys with orange stripes on, that Jacob Frasca actually kicked that in. I watched the replay a million times. I don't even think the puck touched Frasca's stick. I think it just touched his foot and got kicked in. So, of course, they took a long review of that one, but at the end of the review, they upheld it. There was a long argument with JR afterwards, but unfortunately, it would stand, and the Barrie Colts would lead 3-2 at that point. Unfortunately, that goal would hold up as the winning goal. There would be an empty net goal that was waved off for an offside, which it clearly was. I don't know how they could notice an offside and not wave off an obvious soccer goal. If Joe Monette or Scott Ferguson, the referees for this game, are watching, I invite them to write in the comments why they upheld that goal. You know, it makes me glad I'm not a member of the team. I can actually say what the coaches and the players can't. But yeah, it was controversial. A lot of Steelheads fans upset about that. But yeah, it would be a 3-2 Barrie Colts final. Quite possibly the roughest week for the Steelheads since the trade deadline. Just the 1 point. Here are the 3 stars and my post game from Barrie.
Tonight's 3 stars. Tonight's 3rd star with a goal and an assist. Your captain from the Barrie Colts, number 55, Brant Clark. Tonight's 2nd star, also from your Barrie Colts, also with the goal and an assist from the game-winning goal, number 15, Jacob Frasca. And tonight's 1st star with a Gordie Howe hat-trick in the 1st period from your Barrie Colts, number 11, Ethan Caldwell. Fans, once again, thank you so much for attending tonight.
Still a well-earned meal.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Love that.
Yeah, we spent a lot. Well, I spent a lot of time at the
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
No, you said I'm selling it.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for cheering me on. I appreciate it.
Bye. Play good. Again.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice. Love that. Yeah. Now, boys. Yep.
There we go. Let's grab.
Yep. So, toughest week the Steelheads have had in a while. Got the 1 point on Wednesday with the overtime loss and a couple of hard-fought losses on Friday and Saturday. Thought we could have had the game today, but it was a bit of a kicker, as they say. But yeah, I'm a little bit tired, having to make those last-minute hotel arrangements before I went yesterday, and then coming home today to find out, without warning, that I need a new phone. So yeah, had to do a little extracurricular running around, so I'm kind of happy I have Sunday off. Maybe relax. Maybe I'll watch Gatineau's game. They're playing Rimouski tomorrow. So, yeah. Until next week, we'll see ya. Now, before I go, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a look into my process as a YouTuber, the filming, the editing, all that fun stuff. I try to film everything that I am able to film, which often leads to me having way too much footage, for what I'm target as a 30-minute video. It often ends up being a little bit longer than that, but that's okay. I'm going to give you my list of top 5 things that are most likely to be cut. Okay, number 5 on the list. Now, fan interactions are kind of the big thing that I get post-game. Seeing fans greet the players, sign autographs and all that stuff. But there's one question that fans ask the players a lot that kind of makes me feel awkward, and I get the feeling it kind of makes them feel awkward too. And that question is this: how come you weren't playing tonight? Now, I get that there's some curiosity there, but I don't think that it is a question that players enjoy answering a lot, because usually the answer is, coach didn't pick me. And I mean, obviously, if it's a player like James Hardy, you're not going to healthy scratch James Hardy, so you have to think there's an injury going on, although when he was out earlier, it was before the trade deadline, and there was some speculation that maybe it was for trade reasons too. But that wasn't the case. It did end up being a minor injury, and James Hardy just was back after missing 2 games. I feel like it's a question too that if they answer it, the answer might get a little bit misconstrued. Like if I put that in the video, a player saying, coach didn't pick me, I hope he picks me next time, that kind of thing. People might respond to that and be like, you should be happy just to be on the team, yada, yada, yada. And, it's not like they're complaining, they're answering a question that they were asked. So there was one time, and this is before I was a YouTuber, by the way, so not a current player, but there was one time I heard a player being asked that question, and they answered, because I suck, is that what you want to hear? So yeah, it was very awkward. I hate that question. Please don't ask it, guys. Number 4, swearing. And I'm not going to pretend that, I'm against swearing, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't swear myself, but it's a matter of knowing who my audience is. And I know that I have a lot of kids watching, and I know that I have parents who monitor what their kids watch, and I don't want to be that YouTuber where the parents are telling their kids, don't watch that guy, he's an idiot. I remember there was one time during the Hamilton playoff series last year, there's a Steelhead fan near me who calls a Hamilton player by a very vulgar name, and I'm narrating the video, and I say the player's real name, and the guy gets on me right after saying, why didn't I call him by the same name? And making a video here, trying to be professional. And, that was the same video that the Hamilton Bulldogs commented on, the official Hamilton Bulldogs YouTube. I don't think the comment would have been as nice if I had done what that fan wanted me to do. So, yeah. Number 3, asking players about the refs. And this is a tough one because I know it'd be entertaining for you guys, but at the same time, it's something that will put the players in a lot of trouble, so I don't do it. The players and the coaches are bound by very strict rules that, as a fan and as a YouTuber, that I'm not bound by those same rules. So I can talk about the officiating, but they can't. They have fines, they have suspensions to think about. So I'm not going to put them in that position. I'm just not going to do that. I have made comments to the players and to the coaches about officiating, but I've done it with the camera off. In fact, I did it this week in Barrie, about the kick. But, I know I'm not going to use that, and I know I'm not going to put them in that position, so I don't turn the camera on for that. I just say it, have our laugh, and, I don't make that part of the video. But there were some times that I do have the camera on and someone else asked them about the officiating. In fact, there was a player last year, I swear he must have had asked me about the officiating written on his forehead, because 3 times, same player, someone asked him about the officiating when I had the camera on him. And it's come on. Again, it sucks because I know it's something that you guys would like to hear and you'd probably get a laugh out of, but, I want to keep a good relationship with these guys, so I'm not going to break their trust like that. Sorry, guys. Number 2, kids. And, obviously I don't mean all kids. There are some kids that, you guys see regularly in my videos. You know, a lot of the regulars and stuff, and, you know, obviously I'm filming in a public place. I am going to get some kids I don't know in frame. But, you know, as a grown-up filming in a public space where there are kids, I do have to be careful about how I film them. Now, I know there's a lot of kids that you guys see very frequently in the videos. You know, Aiden, Sydney, Michael, Johnny, those kids. Shout out to all you guys. But those are kids that I've met them, and I've met their parents, and we've built that trust. So I know that it's okay to film those kids. There's other kids too that maybe I don't know, but they'll approach with their dad and say, hey, can I be in your video? And I'll oblige them because I know their dad's right there and, you know, is behind it 100%, so that's okay too. But I know I don't have that with every single kid in the building, so that's where I gotta be careful. It can be difficult sometimes because, you know, a lot of kids think it's the coolest thing ever to be on YouTube, and they don't even care what it is. Like, I could be vlogging a trip to the dentist, and, you know, kids in the waiting room be like, yeah, YouTube! But, yeah. Just me trying to be responsible, you know, being the adult in the situation, and, you know, just being on the safe side, you know? And the number one reason that I may cut a clip from a video, privacy. As I've said before, I'm not here to reveal the players' secrets. If they mention, you know, the school they go to, or, you know, something about their family that's a little private, or, you know, something about their family member's health or something like that, I am most likely not going to keep that in. As I've said before, I'm not TMZ. I'm not here to give you guys videos like, you'll never guess which steelhead got a D in history, or you'll never guess which steelhead has a snoring problem. One thing I have avoided mentioning on the videos is the high school that the steelheads go to while they are here. And I mean, I do know what high school that is, and I think a lot of fans do know what high school that is. It's not exactly a huge guarded secret, but the last thing I want is for, you know, some crazy person to come to my video and find out from my video what high school they're at and decide to go pay them a visit. Like, that's the absolute last thing I want. At least I know by not mentioning it on here that if that does happen, they didn't get it from me. I mean, these are hockey players, you know, we pay money to watch them play hockey and we enjoy that, but in the end, they are human beings. They do deserve respect, and I'm not going to air their dirty laundry out there. Anyways, guys, that is my top 5 list. I hope you found it informative, and maybe, like, if you were around when I was filming something that I didn't end up putting in, maybe that'll help you understand why a little bit. Of course, sometimes I have to cut things just for time, too, because, you know, the video is just too long. But, yeah, I hope that will explain a few things, and hope you enjoyed that little look into my process. In any case, in the coming week, the Mississauga Steelheads have 2 road games. It is the Ottawa-Kingston road trip again, but this time in reverse order. Friday, March 10th, the Steelheads will be in Ottawa, taking on the 67s, and then Saturday, March 11th, they will be in Kingston, taking on the Frontenacs. I plan to be at the Kingston game. If I do have any viewers in Kingston, I hope to see you guys there. Once again, I end by asking the OHL and CHL please allow the fair use of your professional and amateur footage, help the small media, so they can help you. Until next time, you can find me behind the bench and only the bench. This is Jordan signing off. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.